Is World War III starting? Is this the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand moment of the 21st century? All eyes are on the Nord Stream pipeline, quote, sabotage. Welcome to The Real Report. You guys are absolutely going to want to stick around for all this. I've got probably the most in-depth coverage so far on YouTube, so if you guys are new, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below throughout the video. All right, to frame things off, here's a little bit of backstory.
Sabotage is thought to be behind 3 leaks in the Nord Stream natural gas pipelines connecting Russia to Europe. Gas bubbles have formed in the Baltic Sea off Denmark and Sweden. The Danish military has released these images of the gas bubbles. The leaks were first spotted on the radar of a passing ship. Denmark has since banned shipping from the area and imposed a no-fly zone. The Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines run from Russia to Germany. Neither is in operation, although both did contain pressurized gas. The Kremlin says it's extremely concerned about the leak. Now, Poland's prime minister has called it an act of sabotage without providing any evidence. And Denmark's prime minister Mette Frederiksen says sabotage is indeed a possibility.
We cannot rule it out. It is too early to draw conclusions yet. But this is an extraordinary situation, an unusual situation. And there are 3 leaks, even with some distance between them. And that is why it's hard to imagine that what's happening is a coincidence.
So you guys heard that right. Apparently there are 3 leaks in the pipeline. Now, to start things off with the right frame of mind, take a look at this clip from ABC News on February 7th of this year from our commander-in-chief. This is jaw-dropping. Take a listen.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
The geopolitical and military implications that this has on the global stage are quite literally earth-shattering. I don't know how else to put it. January 27th, okay, 2 weeks prior, week and a half from February 7th, when Biden said that, Victoria Nuland said the exact same thing. The audio is a little quiet, so I'll shut up.
With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
You know what the problem is when you say things like that? Danish government speaking now, Nord Stream leaks, Prime Minister, these are deliberate actions, not an accident. You know what the problem is when you say things like that? Well, when it's the same day that 3 leaks about 700 meters wide occur in the Nord Stream pipeline, is the exact same day, check the date, we're on Euronews, September 27th, 2022, Baltic pipe, Norway-Poland gas pipeline opens in key move to cut dependency on Russia. So you have to ask yourself, who would benefit from what's just happened? Is this the complete economic vassalization from a Western standpoint on the European region? Well, I'll let you draw conclusions. However, leaders from Poland, Norway, and Denmark attended a ceremony today to mark the opening of the new Baltic pipe, a key stage in the drive to wean Poland and Europe off Russian gas. The pipeline will transport natural gas from the Norwegian shelf via Denmark and through the Baltic Sea to Poland. It is a centerpiece of a Polish strategy to diversify away from Russia that began years before Moscow's February invasion of Ukraine triggered a global energy crisis. The flows from Norway, along with the supplies via liquefied gas terminals, are central to Poland's plan. The country was cut off from Russian gas supplies in April, allegedly for refusing to pay in rubles. And they said, quote, "The era of Russian domination in the field of gas is coming to an end. The era that was marked by blackmail, threats, and extortion," from the Polish Prime Minister, said at the inauguration in Western Poland. Norwegian Energy Minister, "This is an important step on an important road to Europe's independency from Russian energy." Wow. So again, going back to who benefits. Now, I don't normally share people's personal opinions or tweets on here, but this one I felt deserved it. Make no mistake, the attack on the Nord Stream pipeline is a direct attack on Russia by the U.S. Their idea, not mine. And before any shills start sputtering that it was provoked by the war in Ukraine, tell me, now here's the interesting part, how Russia and China would have been justified sabotaging U.S. infrastructure over Iraq, referring to the Iraq War. There's a lot to unpack there. Mostly that the CIA warned Germany of the coming Nord Stream pipeline attack last week. U.S. CIA recently warned Berlin about the increasing signs of a planned attack on the Nord Stream pipeline system. Spiegel reported CIA tipped off Berlin in the summer about possible attacks on Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. Of course, you can see there. I'll link this down below from Zero Hedge. It has the most extensive coverage, and they keep adding to the page as more and more news comes out. Are deliberate actions not an accident? The U.S. stands ready to support European partners. The U.S. is ready to provide support to Europe after the Nord Stream pipeline system leaks. Conveniently today, the FEMA administration just had a report due to the hurricanes in the United States. We're going to be experiencing, you guessed it, gas shortages due to the supply crunch from things going offline from the hurricanes in Florida as we, you guessed it, export more and more, and our strategic petroleum reserve hits the lowest it's ever been in 37 years. Now, there was no further information on what type of support, but one can only imagine it would involve an increase in LNG cargo shipments to the EU. Who benefits? Swedish broadcaster reported that Swedish National Seismic Network detected 2 underwater explosions near the Nord Stream pipeline system on Monday. One of the explosions had a magnitude of 2.3 and was registered as many 30 measuring stations in southern Sweden. The Swedish National Seismic Network said these 2 seismic events were explosions. Size of the gas leak is, quote, huge. The smaller circle, 200 meters wide. The larger one, they're saying now, 700 meters wide. Remember that the President Biden said weeks before Russia invaded Ukraine, quote, "If Russia invades, there will no longer be a Nord Stream 2. We will bring it to an end." It's not ruled out that there's not a connection to the gas leaks and Russia's mobilization last week. Incident is a military matter, Sweden says. First images here show a large surface area of gas bubbles in the Baltic Sea. Another leak was reported by Danish defense forces to be a kilometer in diameter on the surface of the water. This is an absolutely massive leak. Here you can see the 700-meter one. Handful of EU officials suspect the pipelines were sabotaged. Swedish government held a crisis management meeting with other public authorities over the damage to the Nord Stream pipeline system. Sweden may discuss the pipeline damage with Denmark later today, the 27th. Denmark is tightening security around all energy assets as some European officials speculate the Nord Stream pipeline system was sabotaged. The plot thickens about what caused the damage to 3 lines of the Nord Stream gas pipeline under the Baltic Sea to Europe, as some European officials now suspect, again, sabotage. The destruction that happened within 1 day at 3 lines is unprecedented. It's impossible now to estimate. In case you've been sleeping, pay attention here. Impossible now to estimate the time frame for restoring operations of the gas shipment infrastructure. We're headed into winter here, and this is yet another one. Impossible to estimate the time frame for restoring operations of the gas shipment infrastructure. Again, just to click back here for a second, on the same day, Poland, Norway, Denmark open the new Baltic pipe. Interesting. Nord Stream 1 pipeline reported rapid pressure drops with gas leaks reported by Swedish and Danish authorities in the Baltic Sea near the exclusive economic zone. and pressure dropped. Of course, the system could be the biggest signal that flows via NS1 might not resume this winter. That flows via Nord Stream 1 might not resume this winter at all. Zilch, nada, none. Freeze to death, good luck. Nord Stream issued an outage message that was active until October 26, a month from now. Dutch front month gas up 10% trading this morning. Denmark's prime minister says it's hard to imagine the gas leaks were caused by coincidence. German security official told Bloomberg the damage appears to be a result of sabotage. Evidence points to a violent act rather than a technical issue, according to a German security official who asked not to be identified because the matter is being probed. Another one, quote, "We cannot imagine a scenario that this is not a targeted attack." So I'm going to try to keep us updated as more and more things come out throughout the day, and especially this week. But of course, all eyes are on this pipeline. So if you guys find anything interesting, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, share with friends, because it's really going to help me out. So hopefully you guys learned something here, and the coverage was good. See you guys in the next one.